Hey guys, welcome to episode 10 of the Bagel. We got two guests here, Donovan and Jacob.
Hello.
What's up?
If you want to get closer, I think it'll be better.
He was talking to the cat.
I was talking to the cat. We also got Holden again, unfortunately.
Well, I'm here every time. I'm like co-own this.
Sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Well, fuck you too.
Okay. So, have you seen Batman yet, Donovan?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Holden doesn't feel
Thank
like
you.
Holden also hasn't seen it.
I've heard it was really good. But
Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah. The only complaint I heard, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of action in it, is there?
I almost kind of agree, but I don't know. There's I think a decent amount.
There's a decent amount. I like it when he broke the two. Oh shit! I'm not gonna say anything. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Also, I haven't played it, but Elden Ring came out recently.
Me and Jacob have both beaten it.
Yeah.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
Holden hasn't
12
played it.
million units were sold in first month or so, which beats all the other franchises, I'm pretty sure.
It's a really good game.
Or all the other games in the franchise.
It's one of my favorite games now, actually.
There looks like there's a lot of content in it. Also, there's like what is it, 20 hours to complete or whatever.
Well, yeah. Probably way more than that, honestly. If you just go exploring, it easily 200 hours. But doing the main bosses probably 20, 30 hours, yeah.
Gotcha.
For me, for sure, I definitely felt like whenever I would play, I just kept finding stuff that I was like, holy crap, how did I not see this before? So I kept getting blown away by all the new stuff I kept seeing.
Yeah.
So it was definitely really, and I do agree that if you play for if you play the main bosses, yeah, probably 20 hours. But if you do take time to do stuff, you could play for a really long time.
I believe there was a 100% guide for one location alone, and it was 2 hours long.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was just insane.
Yeah. All right, Holden.
Me? Alright, well...
I usually go to him when it's quiet.
I'll talk about... So I had a strange dream last night. Me and Grayson hung out for a few hours. We were talking, just randomly talking. But, I guess the best way to put it is we talked about, Kurt Cobain for some reason, when he, blew his brains out.
Is it because he posted on his story about Kurt Cobain?
No, it was because the song was playing in the store we went to. Do you know Loveful by the Cardigans? It's the meme song that whenever you see it's like an animation of a dude next to a shotgun, his head's just gone and it's just playing music when lights are shifting.
I'm not familiar.
I'm not familiar.
Sorry.
No. Well, that's
You're alone on this.
That's a meme, but besides that, that's it's from a video where a dude shot his face off listening to the song. But anyways, Kurt Cobain, somewhat related to that because he did the same thing, right?
Lovely topic.
He blew his brain out.
So into the dream. This was a weird dream. It started out, I was in a casino.
Holden has the best dreams, by the way.
I was in a casino with Owen, Grant, Jared, Grayson, Kurt Cobain, and Paul Ghost's dad, Mark Ghost.
I like how you do the full name, everyone just regular names, and then Kurt Cobain, and then Paul Ghost.
Yeah. We were all walking around, and it was weird because Jared was like, "Dude, I gotta do this," and we're like, "What?" And he's like, "I gotta do this," and he just walks away and disappears. And there's the slot machines made no sense because the people were not playing them. They were pressing buttons and money was just pouring out and we're like, hey! But everyone was winning. So it didn't make sense. Anyways, this is where it gets really weird too. Because, so me, Kurt, Owen, and Grant walk into a room. It just turns into a room like this. In a casino. It turns into a bedroom.
Interesting.
And we walk in, and then Adrian shows up too. Adrian walks in, and Adrian's talking to Kurt, and Kurt's like, "You guys ever done mushrooms?" And we're like, "No." And then he was like, "All right." He's like, "I'm gonna get mushrooms," and it took it felt like it took forever in the sequence for him to actually get mushrooms. Because he was like, I had mushrooms, but now I don't have mushrooms. And we're screaming at him, why would you say you want us to do mushrooms? And he was like, calm down, I have them right here. Then he pulls them out. And we're like, you asshole. But they do not look, they were literally dried pepper flakes. That's what it looked like in the packaging. and it just said mushrooms, and he was like, he was telling us like how they work and all that, but we never ate them.
Yeah.
Instead, it literally just cuts us to walk into another room, and it's Grant's sister Haley.
Yeah.
She's showing us how to use Spotify, but pirate it for free. and she's like putting in like the account names, and she's like, I'll name you Bozo1. She's talking to me.
Bozo1.
And then she's like, I'll name Kurt Bozo3. And then Kurt goes, why do I get to be Bozo3? And we're all making fun of him.
It's like a Spider-Man joke.
We're all like, dude, you're such an idiot. You're number 3. And then it cuts to us walking back to the casino, like we never did the mushrooms. All that was a false. We're just walking back. And we see Jared, and Jared's like, yeah, I just wanted, to gamble. And he was like, and we're like, did you win any money? And he's like, no. And we were like, did you even have any money? No. So then we're walking.
Spectating.
Yeah, we're walking out. And just finale that makes it funny. We all go in a limo, and there's a shotgun in the limo, like just hanging up. And Kurt grabs
it.
Yeah, Kurt
like,
grabs
calls
it.
out to him.
But he grabs the shotgun and spins it like a bottle. Like it's just on the hood, it's just on the roof. And he just spins it like a bottle. And it spins. And it's just shooting at everyone. We're all just getting shot. And it doesn't shoot Kurt.
It's a crazy shotgun.
And Kurt was like, see, I'm the lucky one. And then that's how it ends.
And you woke up?
Yeah. I got texted, so then I woke up.
Yeah. I think
It made no sense.
I think it has a lot to do with your personality, but you have the strangest dreams, and I mean it in the best way. Like your creativity.
Well,
my
it's
dreams are always weird.
Certainly seems interesting. My dreams usually consists of me being in some terrible situation where bugs are crawling all over me or
It's
something like that.
Fucking Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I always have like a start to a nightmare, but then it goes so absurd that it goes away.
Yeah.
Like I remember I had it was kind of like a nightmare where I just started chasing this guy in a field.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of ticks got on me, and they're
I
all
hate
over
ticks.
my back, and they like keep piling up, and they were like ripping me apart, and then I was like, wait a minute, and I like take the ticks off, and I start throwing them at the guy, and they're like eating me while I'm throwing them, and I'm throwing them all off, and then I'm just perfectly fine out of nowhere. I was like all torn up, perfectly fine, and they're all on the guy, and they just like tear him up.
It's like
Do you know the
Wolverine.
ants from Indiana Jones
Yeah,
when they
that's what
turn?
I was saying.
It was literally just like that. It just did that to him, and I was like, yes.
Oh, I did have one dream where it was like me and some other guy, but I wasn't actually myself, and this other guy was just some random, never seen before kind of person or whatever. But we were like infiltrating this like secret compound or whatever, and when we got in there, it was like a huge, just like unending library of like books everywhere. But the place was just dead empty. There was no people in there, and it was kind of eerie because it was really silent.
Like Erie.
A little bit, yeah.
Very silent.
But we walked around for a bit and found an actual wall with a room in it, and we went in there and there was nothing. So then we left, and then we found like these people who were like reorganizing the stuff we had knocked over when we first entered the place.
Mm-hmm.
So we went over and talked to them, but then they didn't like. They kind of like looked at us and like barely made these like weird gurgling like creepy noises, and then walked away from us.
Like Dead Space.
And then there was this like one guy who was wearing like a black outfit while everybody else was wearing like white ones. And the guy in the black outfit like had them like seize us or whatever. And then he was talking about how he's gonna like take over the whole world with these weird like half-human creatures, and that they were some underground society who's been planning to take over the world for ages or
It's
whatever.
like the mole people in Johnny Test.
What I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
That's a weird comparison.
Yeah.
Until we get to this part, I don't think it'll make much sense then. But then he was like, he told us that the part that really scared me was the fact that he told us that he wasn't doing it because he had any specific reason. He just wanted to destroy everything. Kind of nihilistic, I guess. And then after that, all of those people started like eating us alive.
What the heck?
And it was really creepy because I could like feel them like biting my bones and stuff, and it was just really awful. And then my perspective kind of shifted to the other person I was with, and the guy came back as one of the things and started eating me too, almost like a sort of zombie thing. And then I was still kind of like conscious after being like eaten like that, and then I started eating myself. It was really, it was like really awful.
If you can't beat him, join in.
It's interesting.
I always do. You tend to die in your. I tend to die in my dreams, even if it's a goofy dream. I always end up dying. For no reason.
I feel like a
It's
lot of
absurdly.
I think it's for me a lot of times I don't actually die. I get to the point where like I'm right about to die, and then I wake up. Because my heart rate is usually like going like crazy, and then I'll wake up. I don't like scream or anything, but my heart's like beating really fast, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, and you wake up like sweating.
yeah, my heart's beating like crazy, and I was like, oh, gotta go tell my parents about that.
I had one of the weirdest. I thought it was an entertaining dream. It was a weird dream where I was like, this was like senior year, and I always remember it because I thought it was just funny. Where I was a hitman and I was hired to kill myself. Like they show a picture of me, and you're like, you gotta go and kill.
Holden's told me this dream before.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right. And then like I go to the school. I'm driving this complete set. It's like an all black version of my car, and I
Car's
drive
white for those who don't know.
I drive it to the school, and I like see me walking in. And I'm like, all right, and I just walk behind them, and just kill me, and I'm like, mission's done. It's just like I was just like a side character in the dream. It was so weird.
I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, and when I wake up, I'm like, they just kill me.
That is very bizarre. The dreams I don't usually remember my dreams, but the last two I remember I was accused of illegal stuff, and I was in court and I was trying to prove my innocence because I didn't do it, and I was falsely accused, and they end up calling me guilty anyways.
No.
And I wake up when I get called guilty or tried guilty.
And that's like the worst part of the dream for me is getting accused. You're guilty.
Yeah, and I can't defend myself because I'm not actually there.
And it's always like funny too in dreams because I don't know about you guys, but there's always something weird or random going on. Like colors are off, or just like a spinning thing, just constantly like gravity isn't really gravity.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I always find it very fascinating.
There was another one I had where it's kind of going back to the bugs thing, but instead of crawling all over me, it was like in my house. My parents are divorced, so my dad, I spend sometimes in my dad's house, like a week at my dad's, and I go for like a week at my mom's, just kind of switch back and forth. But it was like at my dad's house, and I was like getting up to leave my room, but I was kind of like how you are when you're in a dream and you're like slow and sluggish and you can't move fast at all.
Yeah.
Like you're weighed down by like stones or something like that. But in every single corner and like the bottom corner and like the top corner of all the rooms, it was just full of like webs and like all different types of like spiders, like small spiders, like medium-sized ones, and then like huge tarantulas. And I just remember like freaking out, trying to get out of my room, walking super slowly, and then I tripped and fell face first in one of the webs, then that was when I woke up. So I'm glad it didn't persist because I probably would have like freaked out because I really don't like spiders.
There was one really interesting time when I was a kid. I had this giant like fire truck bunk bed thing.
Yeah.
And I always slept on the top. And there was one night where I remember like specifically sleeping in the bottom bunk, and then I had this dream where I went in front of my kitchen, and I like hissed at the kitchen, and some like black gooey monster came out of the room behind the kitchen, and it started chasing me, and I started running to my parents' room, like all sluggish and stuff like you were describing. And then when I finally got in there, I woke up and I was actually in my parents' room, and I've never been able to explain it. I have no idea what happened.
That's really weird. So you went to sleep in your room, and then you wake up in your parents' room.
Yeah,
that's really weird.
Yeah,
that would freak me out. I think I would like not be able to recover from that. I'd be thinking about that forever.
Yeah, I definitely. Well, yeah, I have like when you're like a kid and you fall asleep in one spot and you like and you like wake up in your bed or like somewhere else.
I don't think I've ever experienced that.
Really?
No.
I
haven't for sure.
Yeah, that's like sleepwalking, right?
Well, that two separate things. It's like or your parents like picked you up, and when you're really little, they picked you up and took you to your bed. But
that could be the case.
I've always wondered if sleepwalking is like a product of dreams, and that people who sleepwalk are actually like just walking in real life because they're walking in a dream. Maybe. And then I thought about it like a little more, and I was like, well, maybe the reason that they can't ever explain that, or maybe the reason that's not like a actual like scientific like, oh, you sleepwalk because you have dreams. I don't know if it's probably not true. I haven't ever heard anyone say that, but I don't know for sure. But I think it would be an interesting thing, like if people sleepwalk because they were having dreams that they couldn't remember when they woke up. But I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dreams are weird. Cause like, I think everyone probably like has them, as whether you remember them or not.
Well, yeah,
And I
everyone
think
definitely
it's-
has dreams, but
Yeah, I just think it's weird of like how it's like it's just like this separate thing. It's just your imagination kind of running wild.
I always thought about it like dreams are probably like formed from your thoughts when you're asleep. So like when you're sleeping, your brain isn't dedicated to like 90% of your other body functions, just the ones that you need to have going at the time.
Yeah.
So I think a lot more power is probably available for your brain to use when it thinks. And since your eyes are kind of closed, you're kind of imagining stuff in your head, and that is what you're living in your dream. But because you don't have any control over it, it's like kind of that's why everything's all weird, because you don't really have control over it. And I think about it that way because there are times when I like lay down and I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and it takes forever for me to fall to sleep. I will lay
that
down.
happens sometimes with me.
For me, it's like every single day. It takes forever for me to fall asleep. I don't know why, but like baseline, like an hour at least for me to fall asleep. And there have been times where I've literally stayed awake for so long that I'm like, okay, there's no point in me sleeping. I'm getting back up and just gonna wait through the whole next day.
Yeah.
And it's awful, but I have had to do it sometimes. But when I'm trying to fall asleep, I'll usually just think about something random in my head, like a story or something, and I just try to imagine it playing out.
Yeah.
But then I'll often find myself, as I'm getting like more into the place of sleeping, my brain has gone totally off track about what I was thinking about. And I kind of almost have to be like, wait, why am I even thinking about this? I was supposed to be thinking about the other thing I was thinking about earlier. So I kind of wonder if it's like me slowly falling asleep, so my brain's going off track, and if that's how dreams are.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting.
How do you feel about like deja vu?
It's really weird because there have been times where I'll be just doing literally, I'm fine, and then like once my dad or something says something, it usually only has happened with my dad. It's never happened with my mom. But I'll be like sitting in the car or something, and I'll text him, and then he'll say something, and then I'm like, holy crap, this felt like this has happened before.
Yeah.
And it feels like it like I literally.
It's like surreal.
And there are times where it's like this. It kind of felt like it happened before, but then I remember like, well, there's probably a similar situation. There was one time, more recently, I was in the car with him and we were driving somewhere. I can't remember where it was to go. Maybe it was the gas station or something. But he said something to me, and I felt like I could remember that happening exactly that way before. And I was like, I know it couldn't have, because one of the things we were talking about was a video that had released like literally 2 days prior. So there was no way this situation could have happened before, but it really had felt like I was just reliving a moment that had already happened.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I've had the opposite, where like sometimes it happens in my dream. I dream of like an event that happens, and then that event happens the next day. I had that a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people call that like precognition. And I think the main theory behind it is that your brain is constantly doing like calculations and predictions and stuff.
Gotcha.
And so when you suddenly, when that event comes to fruition, you are like, hasn't this happened before?
Yeah.
But no, it's just you predicting that scenario.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
That is cool, because a lot of times, this is probably going to sound really strange, but like I'll try to plan conversations out before I have them. So what I'll do is like,
that's
I'll say like things in my head to the person I'm going to go talk to, and then I'll like imagine what they respond and say that, and then I'll just continue the conversation with them that way.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just never even say anything afterwards, but I do that a lot. So that is I wonder if that is a thing though. That does sound really interesting to talk about. I keep ending my things with interesting.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I definitely felt that with like, probably like, when you gotta like, you're trying to have a goal and you kind of have to like get it through another person in order to get it done.
Yeah.
Almost being
Like a hitman.
manipulative in a way. More like I'm saying more like in a job scenario versus
Gotcha.
like a friend, but like, especially when I feel like I've gotten really good at like making elaborate excuses that sound too real to be fake to get like days off and like vacation days paid, because it's like because people when they go excuses, they're like, "Oh, I'm sick or I'm going out." You got to be like, I don't know, my family is moving from Texas to Arizona, and I have to fly to Arizona to move all their things.
The thing is with that though, you set yourself up for that, and then you say the same exact thing like later, like to get another day off. You're like, oh, my family's moving back from Arizona to Texas.
Yeah.
There's definitely a delicate balance you have to find with that stuff, because if you tell too many details, then it makes them suspicious. But if you don't say enough,
if you're very blunt about it, then it's probably
it's pretty
better.
much being blunt.
But unless they like ask more about it, then that's
and
when
it's
it gets
definitely
kind of
toned.
It's like you have to like figure out a scenario in your head where you would get days off or whatever, paid days off, and then you have to just be blunt about it at first. But then if they start asking questions, you've already thought about the scenario in your head in the first place, so you can give them details if they ask for them.
Also, and it's definitely tone too. If you have that
for
tone
sure.
that I'm gonna be off no matter what.
If you're confident.
Yeah, they're just gonna be like, okay.
As people often say, confidence is key.
Yes. Thanks, Jacob.
But
what else can we talk about?
I don't know about how you guys feel about it, but a Dead Space reboot is coming.
Have you guys played Dead Space?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
I'd recommend it. Dead Space 1 and 2 are really good. 3 sucks.
Holden, I played it for the first time with Holden, and this is a good game.
Yeah,
but
I really like 2. That's my favorite one.
I was kind of interested in it for a while. I actually even have what's the main character's name?
Isaac Clarke?
Yeah, I have a literal Isaac Clarke figure in my room, but I've never played the Dead Space games because I'm always like super... I don't know why, but if I ever play anything by myself, I'm always like super scared of playing stuff by myself. I can't play Call of Duty Zombies by myself because I'm too afraid that the zombies are going to sneak up on me and attack me.
Can you not play Left 4 Dead by yourself?
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead I can play by myself.
Really? I think Left 4 Dead's creepier than Nazi zombies.
Yeah, I agree with Holden.
For me,
because it's like darker.
And you get this fat guy to
the special infected's definitely really tricky.
Yeah, I say the special infected does freak me out more, but
Tank
I
Run.
think
All-Star playing over and over again.
But I think with Left 4 Dead, you have the musical cues that that help you realize when special infected is around. You can, a lot of times they're just super loud too. Like, I definitely can hear a boomer making all of its noises before I even get close to it. And another thing is the graphics. They aren't nearly as real to me as...
Call of Duty?
Really? At least definitely newer Call of Duty games, sure. But even Black Ops 1, I think, has more of a realism to it than Left 4 Dead 2, at
Are you
least.
talking about control-wise, or
just the way it looks? I feel like Left 4 Dead 2 has, or the Left 4 Dead series in general, has a very stylized look.
Yeah. Left 4 Dead 2 is very archaic.
Yeah. And another thing is the character banter really helps because...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's goofier.
That's true. And like in Call of Duty, they don't have that.
I mean,
they do have some.
Well, yeah.
They do have some, but it's
the main four.
JFK.
JFK, Richard Nixon,
Castro, and
McNamara.
Oh yeah, if you're playing 5.
And also besides that, I mean Nikolai, Dempsey, Takeo, and
they do have a sort of a banter going on. But like I said, if you're playing by yourself, there's no one else there for your character to talk to.
But they talk to themselves too, which
they do that. But at the same time, I feel like it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often enough for it to affect me in that kind of way. And also, I would disagree and say that Call of Duty Zombies for sure is a lot darker than Left 4 Dead 2, especially on certain maps.
Definitely Black Ops, yeah.
Black Ops has that kind of gritty, dark feeling to it already, so it doesn't help in the Zombies maps. I don't know if I'd say I used to definitely be very scared of playing them by myself, but I think nowadays I could probably do it. It's just that...
You grown up?
I've grown up. But now it's like, I still am like nervous because I just hate the feeling of when I just turn around and then something's in my face and it makes me freak out.
Do you play scary games often?
Not besides, like zombie games, no.
You love Outlast. You should play that.
No, I'm never going to play Outlast. Me and Donovan and then another guy named Ethan, we used to play
Ethan Morgan.
Phasmophobia a lot, which is
really?
like a...
You saw my Target the other day.
Oh yeah.
He works there.
Yeah, he said hi.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
He literally worked at Amazon like a month ago.
Yeah, he was talking about it. He's like, yeah, my old job.
Shout out to Ethan Morgan.
Yeah, but we used to play Phasmophobia a lot, and
The proximity game.
it has proximity voice chat.
I wanted to play that.
But it's like a paranormal investigator thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty popular, so you might have seen it.
It gets boring after like 3.
Yeah, it does get really
Dude,
it does get really repetitive.
I
Although they
watched
have
the-
changed a lot of stuff now. So
I watched the Markiplier one from Jack's perspective, Jacksepticeye, and when he was screaming through the wall.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah.
really good when he was like inside the building. He was like screaming, and you could hear it all muffled.
The school one is pretty good.
Yeah, school. It's like so big.
Yeah.
I feel like though with some of the bigger maps like that, they just take so long to find the
To
ghosts
get progress.
that it becomes like annoying.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh my god, where is this thing?
I feel like
Yeah.
it'd be more interesting if like you're in a big place like that, but they're looking for you. You're not looking for them.
Something that was really cool with that game was when we went to the asylum. There was an echo on our voice chat. I
Ooh.
thought that was really cool.
That's neat.
Oh, yeah.
When it first happened. But the thing is like, I would always stick with one of them, like Donovan or Ethan, or both of them if we were going somewhere. And if both of them died, I would be so afraid to go back into the place by myself that I would just leave.
That seems like Jacob.
I hated doing it by myself. But I think Phasmophobia has a lot more things in it that just freak me out. Like it has a lot more of like sudden things. I think sudden things really get me bad. Like sometimes the ghost will like go like hey in your ear like that or whatever, and that would. I was in a bathroom one time and I was like, oh, dirty water, because that's one of the things you can get money for if you take a picture of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was like, dirty water, and then it whispered hey in my ear, and I was like, I literally yelled so loud, and I was like, oh gosh, I gotta be quiet.
That's
I like
definitely-
screamed like a little girl.
Adult.
That's
Yeah, and then it has
definitely,
the thing.
Adult.
Dead Space 2 and Doom 3 are kind of like that subtle horror. That's
Yeah.
what I really love.
Yeah, like it's a story-based game, but has subtleties of.
Yeah,
Well, we-
before you really get to the jump scare or
The
whatever.
reason I started playing Dead Space was because we played Uncharted. I don't know if you guys know that. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys played that.
I haven't. Oh, actually,
great
that's a
game
lie.
series.
I have played the third
One of my
game.
favorite game series of all time. We tried playing it with Grant. He's so annoying to play with. Just because watching him, he's so bad, and he
Yeah.
blames the game.
And he made it on the
It's-
hardest difficulty possible. And he was like, I can't do this. And he's like, I won't lower the difficulty.
He gets shot every time. He's like, "This game's terrible. You have it on the hardest difficulty."
I would love to see him play like Elden Ring or something.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that would be
I think,
hilarious.
I think he likes Dark Souls though. I think
we
he's
got to
played
the
it.
we got to the
I
end
think he's
of,
beat it, but
We got to
definitely
the end of
played it.
Uncharted with the first Uncharted with the zombie things in the ship. Spoilers. It's fucking 2007. And Grant was playing it and he kept getting killed by the zombie things. He was like, "This is just like Dead Space," and he was like, "We have to play Dead Space
Oh,
now."
yeah, I
So
forgot.
I was like, I
Because
guess
we got past that.
we did, yeah.
Yeah. Did we beat the game?
We beat one, and then you were supposed to do 2, and I was supposed to do 3.
Oh yeah, because we started on 2 and played a little bit, and then we played 3 a little bit, and then
Uncharted 2 is probably top 5 video game of all time for me.
yeah, I'd say it's,
It's really good.
that and Dead Space 2.
I've only played a little bit of Uncharted, like 3, I think, so I can't
It's
really
a
make
good
a
one.
Uncharted 3 is
good
good.
comparison. But I played it like a long time ago, so I don't remember. I mean, I like Tomb Raider games, so I'm sure that would
Yeah,
be like
It's
a-
just like that.
yeah, I'm sure I would
essentially.
really enjoy.
It's
Uncharted.
weird because Uncharted, Uncharted copied off of Tomb Raider in terms of the concept, but then Tomb Raider copied off Uncharted in terms of the way you play it.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really feels like some of the earlier Tomb Raider games, like the early ones were more about like the ruins exploration and discovering like weird mythological stuff.
Oh yeah.
But then it started to like transfer into this like weird, almost like James Bond style,
Oh,
or like
yeah.
Mission Impossible style, kind of like action.
Because the bad guys were
Games.
always like a weird old British dude.
That'd be fun to play today.
But
Goldeneye,
Maybe.
if you want.
This is Joe from Impractical Joker's favorite video game, by the way.
oh,
Shout out to
Tomb Raider?
Joe
Yeah.
from Impractical
That's
Jokers.
interesting.
Wait, what was it?
Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
I think my favorite, the one I played the most is definitely Tomb Raider Legends. I played it on the GameCube originally,
Oh,
but it was. I think my mom used to play the Tomb Raider games, which is really weird
Oh,
because I can't
interesting.
ever see her play games.
Well,
Like
it's a
being someone who
woman
played
lead
games.
role, right?
Well, I guess yeah, but she used to play all sorts of games back in the day apparently. But it definitely doesn't
Pac-Man.
seem like her now. But she
Arkham Asylum.
got me the first. Not like that. It's not like from her. era.
Not her cup of tea.
It's her cup of coffee.
But she was like the one who introduced me to it, I
Yeah.
guess. And then I played a bunch of Tomb Raider Legends and ended up really enjoying it. I really like the fact that the kind of weapon you're forming is like this. It's basically Excalibur, but it doesn't look like a
Shout out to
normal.
Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda for sure.
New one
They have
coming out
Excalibur.
soon.
Oh
Aren't
yeah,
they
new
making-
Excalibur.
Yeah.
I can't wait. But
Wait,
the
are they? Is that announced?
Yeah, they're making a new Zelda. They announced that.
Oh.
were you being serious about the Excalibur thing?
No, I was not.
But it was interesting because it didn't at all look like Excalibur, well, like what you would picture. But apparently, it was like a super powerful weapon that was actually like from they said like each like history almost has a sort of myth that's just like Arthur and the Sword and the Stone. And this weapon
that
was
true?
supposed to be like the same one as all of them. I don't know if that's true or not.
He said it's a legend.
But it looked really interesting because it was like this like black and greenish stone or whatever,
Good color combination.
and it had like a curved blade, and like you could shoot like green energy out of it or whatever. That was
What the
super
heck?
awesome. But then they end up learning that it's actually not even a unique item, but it's in fact
You can buy this at Walmart.
Well, not that way.
Okay,
It's-
this is for Halloween.
it's actually like a key that when
Oh.
placed in this pedestal.
Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Sorry, go on.
it's like a key that when it's placed in this like certain like stone formation or whatever, it can open up a portal to the underworld.
Oh really?
And so that whole trilogy of Tomb Raider games was about Laura going into the underworld to try and get her mother back.
So it was all connected.
Interesting.
Because
Well-
all the Uncharted's aren't really connected.
What?
It's like
I mean, they're like standalone.
What do you mean?
As in,
I mean, yeah, they're standalone, but like
it's not like one is leading like any of the characters or villains, and one.
No,
is
you're
gonna
right.
lead to the other
But
one.
in later games, they reference past games. So
Well,
it goes-
yeah,
you
that's
know-
how
you
it's
know it goes-
connected. But I'm saying like in that way, it's towards all one thing.
well, I don't
Oh.
I wouldn't say that because it's almost like each Tomb Raider game has their kind of like sub story within a main story. So like Tomb Raider Legends, which was like a reboot of the series.
Which I'd say would still be different than Uncharted because it's like
I guess
four
it is
big main stories.
It is sort of
with
continuous.
some
about-
small things
What
going
about
on. In
Golden
them.
Abyss?
Yeah, Golden Abyss, more like Golden as shit.
It wasn't that bad.
It was.
It's like the best PS Vita game.
It was better than the spin-off game, Poop and Brown. I don't know. It was
What?
so shitty.
Pokemon Poop and Brown.
I don't know what it's called. I didn't play it.
Well, the Poop and Brown doesn't really help. You could like say like what it's close to.
I don't know. I think Chloe and the Poopy Girl was in it.
You're talking about fucking
Nadine. Nadine.
yeah,
was in it, yeah.
What's that called? That came out in like 2017.
Yeah, it's called Poop and Brown.
Oh, shut up.
That wasn't that bad of a game.
It was terrible. It was so bad. I never played it.
Yeah, you never played
It
it.
was that bad.
Bump the table, my bad.
I can't relate. I've never played an Uncharted game.
Well,
It was
you
a-
should start with 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4.
You know, just go in chronological order.
Yeah.
Really, Holden?
That's really unique.
Is that how you should play it?
Yeah.
You sure we shouldn't do it and then 4 and then 2 and then 3 then 1? I think that
No,
would be
No,
the
we
best
don't go by
order.
Star Wars.
Then you'd be a
rules.
weirdo.
Oh, I see.
Fucking, I can't. Lost Legacy.
Oh,
That's what it is.
What is your guys' favorite Star Wars movies?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Hmm.
Dom's a big Star Wars guy.
I'm not really. But
Greedo, Weedo, or Beto?
Yeah, those are the only options.
definitely Vito.
Alright.
B-dubs.
Yeah.
What is yours, huh, butt boy?
For me,
Why are you so mean?
It's a nice thing.
Oh yeah, so
Say.
my boy.
Yeah. My boy.
I
My
think
boy.
my favorite Star Wars movie is either. Well, actually, I think it's probably just Episode 3.
Revenge of the
Ooh, okay.
Sith.
Mine's Empire Strikes Back.
Mine's Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. We all have different
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's my favorite.
Would you explain why?
Luke is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, and that's his best movie.
I completely disagree. I think it's the worst Luke in the entire series.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes. I think.
Even in episode 7?
I think the worst look in the entire series is episode.
I know people
8.
like to bandwagon on the hate for the new.
I don't
Disney
bandwagon on the hate.
Well, I
don't
know you're
mind
not.
it.
You're clearly not. I'm just saying, a lot of people like to bandwagon on hate for the new trilogy or whatever, and I don't like to jump on bandwagons, but this is one I actually agree with here, because while episode 7 I thought was okay, it wasn't that bad. It had some things in it that I wasn't really sure of, but for the most part, the movie was good.
Mm-hmm.
But then I watched episode 8, and I really just disliked, like, people always say that Rey is like a Mary Sue, and I just have to agree. She seems like this super talented force wielder who's never, like, she's done like what, like maybe like a week's worth of training, and is
But
suddenly.
Jacob, before you go, what does this have to do with Return of the Jedi though? Of it not.
Oh
being-
shit!
I said Return of the Jedi, not Rise of Skywalker.
Oh
Is
my
that what you-
God.
Oh my!
That's the
God.
mistake I made.
You really are a butt boy.
I'm really stupid. Yeah.
So the past 5 minutes have been a waste of time.
Waste of time.
That's perfect. Cut it out.
I'm not gonna cut that out.
Uh,
So yeah, Return of the Jedi is my favorite.
I do agree.
Awesome
That's a
one.
good movie. Yes.
Jesus. What's
It's a miscommunication. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Retarded.
I think I'll have to go with episode 3 as well, just because.
That's my second, or tied for second. I think that's tied
What's-
with Empire for me.
what's like a movie series you really like, Donovan? Or like one of your favorites?
Crap.
Shrek. It's a good one.
Shrek is great. I
I
love
really
Shrek.
watched Shrek 2 the other day.
Really? It's my
Yeah.
favorite Shrek. I love Shrek.
Shrek one's better.
No.
I'm not even gonna lie. I really like the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, okay. All right. Glad Grayson's not here. Well, he hates them, but Grayson hates them too.
I'm indifferent towards Harry Potter.
Indifferent is a word.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Mr. Dictionary.
I think Harry Potter's pretty good. I really like the way the spells and stuff are set up in the series, but I think like most things nowadays, just the people who like Harry Potter are often very strange.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not part of that
Barack
extreme,
Obama.
Like the
extreme
extreme
fandom.
fan base.
Like it's so hard
Yeah.
to say you like certain things nowadays because people will automatically lump you with these like
Oh,
weird,
I see what you
Huge
mean.
fan base.
yeah, the huge fan base or whatever that's awfully weird and most of the time.
Well, that's not even why I dislike Harry Potter. Is I grew up not really caring for it, and I just
it's just something you've never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
It's a football.
my sister was obsessed with it. And my brothers love it, and I just can't get into it.
You're the black sheep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kinda. Holden loves Harry Potter though. He's
What?
Wait, I don't know.
I
if he-
like them. I don't love them.
I would always walk in on my brother watching it,
Uh-huh.
and I
It
was
like dragged you in.
yeah,
Drug.
yeah, drug.
It drugged you in.
Yeah.
Drugged you with Harry Potter.
that's your drugging noise.
He would always be watching the 5th movie, Order of the Phoenix. So I think that was his favorite movie, but mine is definitely Half-Blood Prince.
I like that one.
It's
That's
just
my sister's
so,
favorite.
It's so like dark and mysterious and really cool. I don't
That's
know.
good.
Yeah.
I think for my favorite Harry Potter movie, it's a tie between The Prisoner of Azkaban and
really?
The Goblet of Fire.
Prisoner of Azkaban is actually my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like that one either. Goblet of Fire is good.
I don't know.
Why don't you like Prisoner of Azkaban?
To be honest, I've never heard the Prisoner of Azkaban. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm trying to. What,
Like Goblet of Fire and Half-Blood Prince sound familiar to me, but I've never heard of.
It's the third movie.
yeah,
It's one
It's
right
like-
I like
before
the
Goblet of Fire.
first one a lot.
The first one's
But-
good, but Ron was an annoying little shit.
Yeah, he was kind of annoying in the
Now
first
he's
movie.
dead.
What? That's spoilers.
What? For the new Harry Potter movie, aren't they still making them? Grayson surprised me. He said they're making like prequels or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're making.
I saw trailers for like that.
Johnny
universe.
Depp or something's in.
Fantastic
You're
Beasts.
thinking of Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, Johnny Depp is
Oh.
Indiana Jones.
Grindelwald.
Dude, there should be a movie series with Harrison Ford and Johnny Depp.
That'd be cool. It should be
Yeah,
called
What would it even be?
Mad Men.
Mad Men. They are kind of Mad Men.
Pure chaos?
They kind of blend each other out because Johnny Depp's crazy and Harrison Ford's like the straight guy.
The straight guy? Yeah, Johnny Depp's gay.
That's not what I mean. You know what I mean? Like the
He's gonna
straight-
try and come
No,
on to him.
That's not what I don't mean straight by that. I mean like
Yeah.
straightforward.
Oh, Harrison Ford, come
You
on.
could've said he's very.
Get away from me.
Very stern.
Oh,
there
okay.
you go.
It's like a stick in
Howard
the mud.
Stern, terrible show.
It's not even a show.
Yeah, it is the Howard Stern show.
Fair point.
But yeah, it's like, you know, It's just like biscuits and gravy.
Shut the fuck
You
up.
take them right.
Okay, another good movie series I like. My favorite movie of all times in it is Indiana Jones.
I actually haven't seen any one of those movies all the way through.
Really?
Yeah.
We should watch Raiders of
You
the Lost
oughta.
Ark sometime.
I've heard that was the best.
That's my favorite one.
I love that one.
Favorite movie of all time.
Which one is that one?
First
First
three.
one.
First one, yeah. I've watched all the first one, but the rest I've only seen, I think, like maybe bits of. I might have watched them
To be honest,
all the way through a long time ago, but it's been a really long time since I've watched any of them.
to be honest, aside from Last Crusade, you're not missing much.
Yeah, I remember like the one ant scene from the Crystal Skull, but that was it.
Oh
That's-
yeah, that's like honestly one of the most memorable.
It is
Scene.
just because like you played like the Lego games or whatever, and you remember like
Yeah.
him getting
Don't
dragged.
don't people hate the Crystal Skull?
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
awful.
It's
Is it really bad?
I hate it.
We had a substitute teacher. I thought it was funny because Grant loves the movie. And it
Grant only loves it because of the ant scene. He's like, it's
Yeah,
the best
it makes
scene
no
in
sense.
cinematic history.
And it's me, Owen, and Grant sitting, and the substitute teacher is like, he was like, there were only 3 Indiana Jones movies. There's
Yeah.
one we won't talk about.
Yeah. And then we watched the Indiana Jones movies with Grant because he had never seen them like you haven't either. And we watched through Last Crusade, and then at the end where he goes, "You chose poorly," and Grant goes, "That's where this is from." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yes."
we're like,
and he's like, "This is my new favorite movie."
it's
that's
if
funny.
there's like a meme or something in it, he'll be like, my favorite movie.
That's definitely a Grant thing to do.
Yeah, Grant's Grant.
Yeah, Grant is Grant.
I don't know, like what? Would
You don't
be-
know if Grant's Grant?
No, he's definitely not Grant,
Oh.
but he is a little Grant.
Temple of Doom is interesting. It's
I
just-
like it.
It's just weird.
What
It's,
happens
it's
in
like
that
children thing is a weird subplot.
It's so it's all based in India, and they're trying to get the 3 stones, and that one guy's
Not
like,
all
"Kali
based.
Ma."
I don't remember that at all.
It's
for
in
some
China
reason.
too.
Yeah, at the beginning when she's singing,
I don't remember that at all for some reason.
the guy is like Kali Ma, which is in your heart.
Yeah, and he goes,
And he pulls
Kalima,
it
just
out.
memes of that.
But Temple of Doom has to be like the most out of
Oh,
place.
you know what? I think I do remember it now.
If you're looking at the 3 Indiana Jones movies, I say 3, Raiders, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade. Temple of Doom is the one that's most out of place, and that's because
Out of touch.
George Lucas had the most say in that one out of the 3. So he likes what he did with Empire Strikes Back. He was trying to make it like more dark undertones.
Yeah.
And he likes
And
screwing things up.
it kind of didn't like mesh well with the.
Yeah, I
series.
see that.
And it was weird because, ironically, Return of the Jedi was mainly Lucas's idea, the good ending.
Yeah.
Where he was at odds with the other writer that wanted a darker ending.
Which I agree with Lucas in that aspect.
Yeah, which led to that writer leaving. He didn't help with
The prequels.
which why I think the prequels like dialogue is trash, but yeah.
Yeah, because that wasn't that guy he did the dialogue.
Yeah, really
for
good
Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope.
dialogue and stuff like that. So yeah, and then you have talking about sand and murdering women and children and having a sex scene right after
What
that.
the fuck?
I don't like sand.
Of course
so
they do.
But see, it's literally right after he's talking about killing like women and
That's
children
true.
and they have sex. It's like what?
I tried,
Nothing gets me turned on. Like
I
killing
tried to
sand
watch that
women and
movie.
children.
I tried to watch that movie with my dad, and I got so bored of watching it that I just never continued it with him.
I
ever
will say,
again.
though,
Clifton
after-
said he fell asleep because
Yeah.
he watched it for the
Clifton
first time.
watched it for the first time his senior year, and he said the prequels are trash.
He fell asleep during them.
We were like, what part did we stop at? It was like,
I will say, besides the Padme and Anakin scenes in Attack of the Clones, it's an okay movie. Like the Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Jango Fett scenes and
I
Oh,
really
yeah,
like
those
those
are good.
scenes.
the
I
Battle of
always,
Geonosis.
I always just find them kind of forgettable for some reason.
I
I'm
really
always
like-
this happened.
I really like Camino. I think
Camino's
it's really cool.
Camino's my favorite
Yeah.
planet in
I have a
Star
Lego
Wars.
set of Camino.
That's cool.
I have a Lego Y-wing.
I have
Because
a
it's my
bunch of
favorite
Legos
ship.
in my room.
Really?
Yeah.
We gotta go check those out after this.
Yeah.
Lego night tonight.
We just spent time building Legos.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're already all built.
Yeah, I'd have to deconstruct all of
All
it.
right. Let's
I'm
go.
actually-
Let's go and buy 10 sets.
I'm actually-
$10,000.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of curious as to what your favorite Star Wars ship is. Because mine for sure is definitely a Y-wing.
All right. Is that why you have one?
I do have a
Um,
Lego
I like the X-wings.
I love the X-wings. That's probably my favorite ship.
You're gonna love my Lego collection.
I like the Millennium Falcon. I like
Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon.
The Falcon? The fucking
I
Falcon?
think it's said both ways in the movie.
Millennial.
well, Han calls it the Falcon.
Yeah. I think like Lando says the Falcon.
Yeah, Lando pronounces everything wrong. He goes Han. That's how he says
Yeah.
Han. Han.
Han Solo.
I like I forget what they're called. The Jedi cruisers or whatever.
The Jedi ships.
Yeah, Obi-Wan and Anakin.
I don't think they actually have an official
I think it's
name.
just the name of
I
the,
think they're just
of
called
the
Jedi.
ship.
Yeah,
I think
Obi-Wan's
it's-
ship.
I think
I
it's
like
just called
those
Jedi
ships.
Starfighter.
I like
think that's
Obi-Wan.
what it's
yeah,
called.
Jedi
Starfighter.
Starfighter,
I like
yeah.
Obi-Wan and Anakin Starfighters.
I like actually
Oh,
Yoda's, and I like Mace Windu's
Oh, yeah.
because Mace Windu's is purple.
Those are good too. I like the Naboo cruise ship from Episode 1.
Oh yeah, that
That
is
was pretty cool.
sleek.
The big yellow
The
one.
the Naboo ships have a really nice design.
I'll show you a picture later.
I had a Lego set of that red ship from Episode 1 where the two people were in and they're like talking.
Oh.
Yeah, it blows up.
I can't remember what that's
Yeah.
called.
The pod race?
No, the red ship in the beginning.
It's
of
the very
Episode 1,
beginning.
when
It's
it's
like
coming
the-
in and they're on the comm and
Oh,
they're like,
yeah.
"Why are you here?" And he's like, with the center. And
It's
then
the one
blow
like
up.
in the Lego game.
Yeah, in the
where it
Lego
gets
game where
blown
they're
up and
talking.
they just-
Like,
Yeah, it gets blown up and then they're just standing like sitting in air and they look at each other and then they just fall and break apart.
All right.
I had that ship. It was built for like literally. I was really young, so it was my
That-
dad helped me build it, and it was built for like a few days. And I was stupid as a kid. I was like going in the backyard, flying it like just like whoosh, and it blew up.
Thinking about bigger ships, I just thought about
There's always a bigger ship.
the rebel ship that they're on in the very beginning of episode 4.
That's
Or-
good. Oh yeah.
I
There's
like
a
that
Lego
one.
set for that.
The
That's like,
Imperial Star Destroyers are good too.
Yeah, I really like the Venator class Star Destroyers from the prequels.
Oh yeah.
they
But-
made like a Lego mega version of that ship from Episode 4, where it's like huge, like one of
I do
those
think
They've already made a lot of Legos.
like huge Death Star ones.
they've made a lot of bigger Lego stuff. There's like a 13,000 or something like that. Maybe not that many.
I remember
piece
Nick
Millennium
Wallace
Falcon.
and Chris Sagala has the Death Star.
I keep adding. I keep
Yeah.
adding to my favorite ships from Star Wars, but I like the Republic gunship from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I was
I
about to say
always
that.
wanted one of those as a
Yeah,
kid.
that is sweet. Another one that I'm gonna add to my list is I really like just TIE fighters in general.
TIE
Yeah.
Fighters.
Yeah.
I always thought they were super sweet.
And how like Darth Vader spun out of
wait.
control.
I really like TIE interceptors too.
You have some?
We have to look at Donovan's dude.
TIE
Flaunting all
interceptors
these
are
Lego sets.
sweet.
Yeah.
I had the Naboo cruise ship, so I mentioned that.
Mm.
So, but that's
The
only cool one
Cloud
I have.
City Boba Fett.
Oh,
That's one of the most-
fucking Boba Fett Slave One.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Oh my
iconic.
God.
Yeah.
That one's so good too.
My,
And Django's.
it's kind of funny.
That's the same one.
It's kinda
But
funny
Django's
'cause-
color scheme I like better.
They like painted it differently.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because every time my dad sees a ship, he's like, "Why does it fly wrong?" And I'm like, "It doesn't. That's how it's supposed to fly." And he's like, "I don't like it."
yeah.
True Star Wars.
and we were also
That's a
talking.
conventionalist.
We were also talking about how Disney wanted to change the name or whatever of
War
his ship
Stars. Oh.
Oh yeah, why did they change it from slave?
because
Because
that's the word slave.
You know,
in
that's
it.
But
what-
how is that even remotely
no,
offensive?
I have just something to say. So you know how you name your Pokemon? You guys probably don't name your Pokemon.
I
but
actually
I
don't.
do. I do.
I leave there. and
have,
I don't-
yeah.
Whenever I get an HM slave in past games, I name it Slave. I tried doing that in fucking Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Yeah.
It said I can't name it, so then I tried like a Chugga Conroy. I was like Slavinator, and then it still wouldn't let me do it.
That's dumb.
But I remember we were talking about it, and I was like, "Look," and we saw it because we were watching The Mandalorian. And I was like, "Look, it's the social justice one."
Social justice one.
Perfect.
Yeah, I heard the show, the Boba Fett show is lacking.
I haven't seen it
They're,
yet.
It's-
not very good.
I was really hoping it would be good, and it's not. It's not a good. Well, I'll say this: it's not a bad show, but it is a bad Boba Fett show because there is so much time spent with characters who are not Boba Fett, and I also think it really kind of ruins Boba Fett's character. In a
So
way.
if you wanted like a badass Boba Fett comes out and starts killing everyone, you don't get that.
you don't really get that.
I-
He seems so much more like respectful and like
That
He
makes no
doesn't-
sense.
it's like
Thank you, my dear.
he would
it's
be
like-
revengeful. He would want to kill everyone.
So this is what
think.
I hate. I don't like people that say this, but I'm gonna say it. They shouldn't have brought back Boba Fett from the dead.
Yeah.
Like what people say
yeah.
about
Because
Maul.
literally no one's dead anymore. What's next? Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson is gonna be saying,
That's
"What's up,
that's,
motherfucker?"
That's
and run
actually a
around.
rumor, by the way.
yeah, that's a rumor that he's gonna. Isn't it in the Mandalorian or
Yeah,
something? He's gonna be
some
in the.
bullshit like that.
thing.
But the only one I like that they've done well is Darth Maul. They did that well. And before
yeah, that was done better.
but before you saw what Maul became, they're like, really, Maul's coming back from the dead. You only lose him in one episode, but they did it well. And
Yeah. And that's why, I always liked them all. That's why I like episode 1.
I just
more
think
than 2.
Yeah.
I think it just has to be done correctly.
Yeah, but it's just you can't do it to every character though.
You
'Cause then
can't.
No one dies.
because
Yeah.
then there's not gonna be like.
It's-
Let's just revive Alderaan at this point.
Yeah.
It's like Dragon Ball Z. You know there's
Chewbacca.
it's like Dragon Ball Z. There's always these super epic.
Oh
epic
yeah,
fights,
no one
but it's
really
like
dies in Dragon Ball either.
there's no stakes because they can just use the Dragon Balls to revive everybody.
Yeah.
So
Goku literally dies in Z, like the first episode.
yeah,
Spoilers.
like in the first 5 episodes, he gets killed.
Come on, everyone and their grandma seen Z.
I haven't.
Yeah. See, way to go.
Well, he's my grandma.
I'm
I-
a big anime fan, and I still haven't seen Dragon Ball.
I actually got my dad to watch all of Dragon Ball Z with me, and when we were first beginning to watch it, he was like, "I don't think I'm going to be into this at all." But now he's like a super huge Dragon Ball Z fan.
I really like Dragon Ball. The normal show is pretty goofy, and then Z, and then GT. I like those 3.
Tell them your 2 favorite animes. Because
I-
Holden and I are not weebs like these two.
Thanks.
But it's a compliment.
I don't think it is.
Probably. Well, I really
Holden
like
has-
Dragon Ball, but I like Bleach. And I like Berserk. That's probably my favorite anime of all time. The 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't the
I
new
really
one
like
really
that.
bad?
Yeah, the new one's
it's like the
terrible.
CGI
I
stuff.
hated it. Yeah, it was sad.
I like
I just-
I like the Pokemon Indigo League.
I like the Pokemon shows. I haven't seen them in like
I mean,
decades.
I liked it up until
in a
Gen
decade.
5. It got worse.
It's just kind of the CGI stuff is really. I feel like
I
it
love
can-
the 90s style of anime. It was so cool.
I
looking.
actually hate older anime.
Really?
because-
Do you like
because-
Cowboy Bebop?
I've
Old?
never watched it
Really? I like
because
Cowboy
it's
Bebop.
older.
Mm.
It's like
Jacob's a hipster.
I
Yeah. You hate
I
the
don't-
old stuff.
I don't hate it.
Trevor
Hate
from
it necessarily
GTA.
because they are older. I just don't like the style that they used for a lot of them back then. Like I tried to watch Saint Seiya or whatever, which is like an older anime
Saint Seiya
about
what?
people using the power of the different. Oh my
Power
god,
Rangers.
what's it called? They're like
The power of.
Donovan gave it a hand.
the different, not like astrological signs or whatever, but it's like the different astronomical
He does that so
stuff, like
often.
they have, like,
the timer, by the way.
Pegasus and stuff like that.
But I think I know what you mean. Like
It was-
constellations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, constellations.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They were like, they would get these different armors that were like different
Like
constellations.
the Big Dipper.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was ever in the show because
Have you
I never
seen Wicked
finished it.
City? That's a good movie.
What is that?
Anime movie.
No.
It's
I've never
pretty
heard of
much
it.
like a OG Men in Black, but anime version. Best way to put it. Because it came out before Men in Black, but it's like a Japanese anime.
be
Men
interesting.
in Black. It's pretty good.
But I remember watching like the original Saint Seiya, but I couldn't get into it because the
Saints
style
Row?
just feels
Say
so.
what?
It sounds like you're saying Saints Row.
I heard Saints Row
Saint
the first
Seiya.
time.
Oh, I'm
That's
like
what I'm
Saints
saying.
Row made an anime. What is this?
But it's just like
That's Holden's favorite video game series of all time.
What?
Saints Row was pretty good actually.
I
think,
like 1 through 3.
Yeah.
It's
Four.
actually Jeff Ramsey's favorite.
4 was
4 was when it got downhill, right? I'm
4 was
I'm
when
trying
it
to
started to get bad. Like 4 was okay, but then they blew up the Earth, and it was like
remember. Yeah,
what the
Get
fuck?
Out of Hell or whatever. The
Yeah, that
spin-off.
was really weird.
It was
Jeff
1 through
Ramsey's
3 was
favorite.
really good though, because it was GTA's main competition.
Yeah.
And
Like,
they really went weird.
I really like 3, and then 4 was sort of interesting. I like the fact that they had the powers you could use, but at the same time, I kind of like the old way more because a lot of the powers in the
Yeah.
game were actually kind of annoying to use, and
And I didn't really like I liked it when it was a lot more down to earth, like guns. You were using guns.
Yeah.
The dildo sword and
the dildo bat.
yeah, the dildo.
That's actually what the
It
called.
was a lot more gimmicky, and I feel like
a goofier GTA,
But
which
it's
is
still-
ironic because GTA is pretty good.
but it still had like real stuff
they need
in
a
it too.
fucking-
yeah,
They
like
need a new-
emotional stuff, and you like the characters, and you had to
absolutely.
pick and choose kind of what.
There
down.
Yeah,
needs
it
to
was-
be a new GTA.
It was interesting. I think I do agree that Saints Row 4 is where it started to go downhill, but Saints Row 4 necessarily wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was like Saints Row, anything
Beginning of
past
the
that,
end.
that was like, ugh.
And they're making a new one. I think they're rebooting the series.
Are they?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
could be
actually,
good.
I do think I think
yeah,
I saw that.
I think it's a full reboot.
I mean, they
Which
would
I
have
don't know how
to. They
feel about that.
they literally fucking destroyed the
Ooh.
only planet
That's
they could have done
fun.
anything on.
yeah.
And
We need a
4th game.
a
so.
new GTA too. Like
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
it's
For sure.
they're making it, but I say it more
The
in the
newest,
sense
the newest GTA
maybe a new
came out
IP,
in fucking
a different games
2013.
company to make a GTA.
I don't.
Yeah, Rockstar.
I don't.
Rockstar's pretty good.
They're alright.
This is such an ambitious idea. If they could ever, so like, they'll
They're
probably,
trying to do. I think it's gonna be Vice City because they've been alluding. But I think they're trying to do multiple cities like San Andreas.
That's what I
did.
was thinking. I was like hoping
San
that
Andreas did that. So
I was actually talking to Alex Ulrich Jr. about this.
really.
Mhm.
San Andreas did like the city version of Vegas and then outskirts of I think like San Francisco and
They're doing like
outskirts of
a.
California.
They're doing like a whole state. Like
I think I don't know.
that's why it's taking so long.
Maybe
'cause they're doing.
Florida?
I talked to Alex Ulrich Jr. about it, and he said they're doing like all of Florida.
Maybe or
it would be
base of
interesting. It would be interesting to see a GTA game with
Alex
like.
Ulrich Jr. is an inside joke.
Florida. Yeah, he's a jerk. You hate him.
It would be interesting to
He played
see
this 2
a.
weeks.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Well, he
quit.
hates him.
Alex hates me.
No, not Alex Ulrich. His son.
Hates
We work with a guy who looks like Alex.
He looks
So
just
we
like
call-
his
we
son.
call him Alex Ulrich Jr.
Yeah.
I see.
Icy waiter.
But I was.
Fuck off, dude. So stupid.
For the 6th time.
For the
During this time.
infinite time here,
Come on, spit it out.
GTA. I think it would be really interesting to see GTA 6 with like Red Dead 2 style like level of
That'd be cool.
graphics because
That'd be interesting.
Red Dead 2. I mean, like
It's beautiful. It's insane.
it's such
but
a
5 is pretty damn good looking too.
for a game that
Yeah.
it's that old. Yeah, it looks good, but
It's amazing.
it definitely needs to be.
The driving is probably the best in that game.
They need to
Yeah.
blow it out of the water because
I
they've
think
been
they will.
They've been stalling so long, and they had to have made a
Yeah.
killer amount of money
I
off
think
all
they
the milking from GTA
will
Online they've done.
because
Literally
they're
the second most sold game of all time.
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
they're
seriously.
a studio
Behind.
that takes
We
their
just pulled
time.
So-
Definitely. So I mean, I don't think GTA 6 will be bad. I
hope-
think the only bad aspect of GTA 6 would be online.
the
Maybe.
thing, the
Like
thing-
I feel like they could destroy online, but the story I think is going to be great.
I think
Never forget.
it's hard to have like hope for games anymore because there's just so many like companies that have fallen.
And they always
into
try
it.
to like cater to.
I am tired of
They go to sleep.
being disappointed with games.
That's why I like indie developers. Indie developers are just like better than ever.
I feel
almost.
like with the way that the games market is right now, it's not like how it used to be, where you had to actually make a good game to get it to sell.
yeah,
Now you can just use your name to sell whatever you
'Cause
want, and people
everyone
will buy
is
it.
an idiot and buys it.
Everybody just
off the
buys
bat.
it. It's like, it's so dumb. Like, how many Call of
Battle
Duty,
Royales
how many
in
Call
it,
of Duty
and
games do we
everyone
have
just
now?
83.
Like,
Yeah.
it's too
But
many.
they might postpone it the year they're talking about it.
And then
They
like,
might give us another year.
so I feel like an overall games quality has dropped, but I think that's how it is with indie developers. They
Yeah.
have to make a good game to get it to sell because they don't have a reputation to just sell games off of.
Especially for like AAA, but like I'd say like it's better than ever for like small time developers because
For
they have the
sure.
technology to make really good games.
They
and
have
flourish.
we have the tech to make good games, but we're too busy.
It's just the big companies don't do it.
Yeah,
the small
we're-
companies are doing it.
It's hard to find games anymore that I actually enjoy
Because
playing.
and also there's so many games since it's been around for so long. Why even bother when a game has done it 10 times better before?
True. You could just always go back to old games.
Yeah, so it's like it's really tough for them to kind of make something kind of new
Gamefly.
and different. I just want new IPs too. They're just killing old dead franchises. I want to see a new IP get
Well,
into the
They
mix.
can't kill dead things already.
I would actually like to
Dead
see.
Island.
There you go.
Which is gonna come out. Dead Island 2 is supposed to come out.
I
think
was-
next year.
Jacob's excited for that.
Yeah.
I want to see
Indeed.
Dead Island.
I don't necessarily agree that reviving old franchises is bad.
Not always, but like everyone's doing
but
it.
because
new Pac-Man,
That'd be funny.
because the only companies that really
Pixels.
ever do stuff like that
Terrible
are the
movie.
AAA companies that are only focused on monetary gain, and they always end up being bad. It's like
Because they always just make money off of like, pretty much, of the past. Pretty much, just tugging on people's
Nostalgia?
Nostalgia, yeah.
well, I feel like something I would like to see be better. For example, is The Sims. I really like playing
Oh.
Okay.
The
Didn't
Sims.
they kill it? Didn't it get like killed off?
The Sims 1 was like a revolutionary game for its time. Sims
Yes.
2 was better. Sims 3 was even better. And then in Sims 4, it felt like we lost so much that we already had. and then they were like selling that as DLCs for us to have. It was
Yeah,
like
cool.
The Sims 3 had so much like interesting stuff. Like you could like get to like your characters like different clothes and like customize what the texture of the clothes was, the color of it,
That's such a
change it up in such a unique way. You could literally have a room with like a Gabe Newell wallpaper on it
Gabe
if you
Newell.
wanted.
shout out to that guy.
You could do such crazy,
Scott.
interesting stuff. You could make like castle homes and whatnot. And in The Sims 4, it's so limited. Like you, one of the things they removed was a color picker. You cannot like choose a specific color for your hair or
colorblind
anything
people.
like that. It's really like just annoying.
That's a game series
Also-
I want to play again.
Yeah.
It's
The Sims.
The Sims 3 to The Sims 4, I think it went in like a weird direction. Like Sims 3 was good for where it was at, but then Sims 4 went into like this stylized kind of format that was weird to me. And what was another thing that The Sims 4 did that I didn't like? Oh, the base game just feels very lacking.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have any of the DLC for The Sims 4,
You
you will probably be the most bored person on the planet.
Yeah.
Because the base game just does not have a lot of content for you to enjoy.
Damn.
Whereas
More bored than homeless
if
Joe.
you were to have all the DLC in that game, you would probably have a lot more fun because it just adds so much stuff that feels like it should be base game stuff like weather. You don't get weather in The Sims 4 unless you have a DLC for it. You don't get to do more stuff with like your children and stuff growing up unless you have a DLC for it. You can't have pets unless you have a DLC for it.
Yeah.
Now, The Sims 3 did do that with their DLC too. They had stuff that was kind of like you couldn't get pets without a DLC and stuff like that. But I just think it was, for The Sims 3, it was different at the time. Shut up.
Sorry.
But
But
I'd say that a lot.
I can't
you also
do
want
that.
some toast with
I
that
can't
butter?
do that. Like put your leg on your leg.
What, like this?
Smart,
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi here.
Let's see if Holden can do it in jeans.
Ah.
Why are you wearing jeans?
Look at this.
Whoa! Mark Gosu's father-in-law.
Shout out to Paul Gosu's brother, Mark Gosu.
That's his father. Moses Gosu
Oh,
is his
yeah.
brother. Dumbbell.
Paul's father and brother Mark.
As if I don't know his frickin' father's name. I don't.
I've met his family multiple times.
I've never met his family.
His family. You'd love him. You'd love
I don't know about
him.
You'd hate to love him.
You'd hate to love him. You dated so much. I hate how I love these people.
believe I met you. I love you too much.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Alright.
I can.
It's been an hour, so unless you want something to say, Bubby, you better say it.
We'll end it with this. What's your favorite video game series of all time?
It's tough.
Everyone just fucking grab their brains.
That's not an easy one.
Oh no, that's such a hard question.
And we'll be here for 10 more minutes.
Woo!
We'll be here for another hour. I don't think I could ever
Yeah,
decide.
because you'd be like, but
Shut the fuck up.
Holden's favorite video game series of all time is Hello Kitty for the Game Boy.
What?
That is very true. I see him playing it all the time on Steam.
I was playing on
Oh,
my phone.
okay. I remember the Game Boy.
Yeah, I know, on Steam.
On Steam. I connect it to it so I could get hours.
Yeah. Well, you could get hours just playing on the Game Boy.
No. I need the people to see that I've been playing.
So we have Holden's answer. All right, what's mine, Holden?
Uh,
I gave you Hello Kitty. You can give me something weird too.
Yours is the Johnny Test video game for the.
Give me
Does
another
that
good
exist?
game.
Nintendo.
No.
There's a Johnny Test game.
For the Wii.
No.
Like a Flash
It's
game.
for like a DS. I think it's a DS game. But I think it's like a Cartoon Network game, not
Yeah.
like a.
Favorite video game series is one game for the DS.
Well, Hello Kitty only made like 10 games.
That's true. That's
It's
a good.
barely a series.
10 games is a big series.
Nope.
Well, my favorite video game series has way more misses than hits, but the hits are so good that I think it just outnumbers them or outweighs them, which is Sonic.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I actually saw where you were going with that actually when you said a lot of misses. And
Yeah.
I
I
was like,
thought
is he thinking
Final
of Sonic?
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy also.
Yeah.
Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic Unleashed,
Sonic
Yes.
Colors.
I love
Sonic
Unleashed.
Colors. they're
Hell,
they're
the-
Sonic
all freaking
Racing,
amazing.
The first 3 Sonic games, Sonic 1, 2,
Yeah,
and
I
3.
mean,
I love Sonic also. Sonic Adventure 2 is probably my favorite Sonic game.
absolutely.
Yeah,
This-
a lot of good soundtracks.
Yeah.
Every game has
Oh
good
god,
soundtracks.
Sonic has literally the best music I've ever heard
Best music
in any video game ever.
I have to disagree on that
Jake,
statement.
Jacob, whenever we play Sonic music, Jacob's like, okay, turn it off.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's just not my kind of thing.
Well,
So you hate it.
the thing about it though is every character has like a different genre. Sonic is rock, Knuckles is rap, heavy metal. From
That is
Sonic.
kind of
Pumpkin Hill.
interesting.
I love the Pumpkin Hill theme so much.
That is kind of interesting.
Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic has. I don't even know what Metal Sonic is.
I don't remember.
I actually don't know.
Tails,
Metal rock and
Tails
roll?
is pop, and then Dr. Eggman is the
Yeah.
Eggman.
That's my favorite genre of music.
Pingas.
Bingas.
Oh my
Fingers.
god.
Dude,
For me,
I'm so excited for Sonic 2, the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Grayson didn't see it.
I didn't see the first one.
It comes out in April. Butt brain.
I mean, you're not
I
missing
think
much
Grayson
by
talked
not
about the
seeing the
first
first
Yeah,
one. It's
butt
just,
brain.
Sorry.
it's just kind of like a candy for Sonic fans.
Yeah.
That's it.
I will say, Knuckles is voice cast very well.
Who
Yeah.
is Knuckles?
Idris Elba,
Oh,
the guy who played
black guy.
Charles in The Office.
Yeah, who
I
played
didn't-
black guy and all?
I didn't like his voice in the reveal in the first trailer for Knuckles, but
The second
Second
one,
sounded
yeah,
was
better.
good.
way better.
The Winter Soldier.
I think for me, my favorite game series, it's not really like a series, but a company that makes games. And it's
Square Enix.
kind
Whoa,
of kind of
serious.
kind of controversial right now because of their recent
Oh
releases.
God, racism.
Whoa.
But well, not in that way
Hatred?
at all. It's just
Hate
that
crime.
their most recent releases have been disappointing.
Postal.
I think I might.
Bethesda.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Elder Scrolls is probably my favorite video game series. Of
This
all
is
time.
where these two bond is over video games. They have so many similarities.
Yeah.
I got into PC gaming because of Fallout and
Yeah.
Oblivion, and when I would play Fallout 3 in Oblivion, I would spend so much time in that game just doing absolutely nothing, because
Yeah.
I was having
especially Oblivion.
I would just screw
walk
around the whole time, and like playing them now, it was kind of weird because for a while I would only play games with cheats, and
Cheater.
it would only just cheat because I felt
Cheater.
like it made things.
Cheater, pumpkin.
Easier.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a cheater. I'm
More
not gonna deny
entertainer?
that at
All
all.
right, you heard that first, ladies. Never go out with Jacob.
Well, yeah, we know
Yeah, never go out with me because I've never been on a date in my entire life.
No, Owen's mom.
Come on.
So I'm hopeful. I'm curious to see how Starfield does because they're releasing that new IP.
yeah, I can't wait for that.
It's a rip off of Star Fox.
But I am hoping to God that the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be good because
I think it will be. I don't think Bethesda screws up Elder Scrolls. They screw up Fallout because they don't know Fallout.
I think they screwed up with 76 because it was a multiplayer thing.
Also, it's rushed.
Declaration of
And
Independence.
The only other
76.
multiplayer thing they've ever done was ESO or Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, and
And-
4 isn't as bad as people say, but it's not as good as some other people say either. Because
4?
I've seen some people are
Oh.
like, "This is such a good game, and it's such a bad game." I was like, "It's like mediocre."
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I have to say that I do like some systems that Fallout 4 had. I really
Yeah,
like the
same.
fact that I could build my own settlement. I thought that was crazy.
I just
awesome.
don't like the story. I'm not invested in it.
But yes, I feel like even though like they added even like voice acting for your character,
You don't care.
it feels so boring.
Because they're all like whiny bitches, and you can't be like a
it's
dick.
it's so just
It's like the Lego series with voice acting.
Yeah, Lego
I-
series is way better without voice.
I cannot care for the stories in Fallout 4. Like there's not like in Fallout 3 I would go around and do all the
That's
side
very,
quests
like, self-conscious.
Yeah.
because I would just have so much fun doing all the side quests and learning my stuff. And I feel like also stuff in like the older Bethesda games was a lot darker.
Yeah, and 3 actually like was really good because you get in a side quest that talks about like the main story. Like they'll talk about your father since you're looking for your father. I
Yeah,
think
like
that's cool.
like all the like the GNR stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's basically like a huge side quest.
Because
But
they don't talk
have-
about like Sean really when you're looking for him as the
Well, that's a yeah, that's a
spoilers.
Fallout.
yeah.
But yeah, you kind of like don't ever. It's the I feel like the story in Fallout 4 is so
And
streamlined.
you can't deny anyone. They're like, you need to go kill everybody. I can't. Well,
Yeah,
that
also,
means yes.
That means yes.
It's also kind of weird because
It's like in Pokemon where you're like, would you like to go on this quest? No. Whoa, you should change your mind.
Before I change it for you.
but in like Fallout 3, when you would look at your dialogue options, because there was no voice acting, that's literally your character was saying whatever option you
Yeah.
picked. That's what your character would
And
say.
why I like New Vegas even more than that is you could literally kill. It's like Morrowind almost, pure freedom where you could kill anyone.
Well, yeah,
And
but
it
there's still some essential
Changes
NPCs.
story. Some, but you could mainly literally.
But there was
you,
definitely a lot more.
You could go in guns blazing, pretty much killing everyone, and do the yes man ending. Like
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
But you're like Morrowind has crazy freedom. You can literally kill any
Yeah, because
NPC.
it'll just tell you after. It'll be like you just irreversibly.
Yeah, you
change
have
the story.
you have killed someone who's of like the most importance. You have created a doomed world. Reload is saved,
Which is
to
awesome.
Continue
That's
or
really
whatever.
cool, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
But that's a really cool thing about
it can make you
Morrowind.
like a villain. Just
And
killing
Morrowind's like
everyone.
got crazy stuff in it, like spells that can make you fly or
Yeah.
jump super high.
dual wield
there's-
throwing weapons. You can
Yeah,
dual
there's a
wield
lot
throw.
more crazy stuff in Morrowind that wasn't in an Oblivion, and I don't necessarily hate that because I can't hate it because I never played Morrowind in the first place.
Yeah.
But
And I love them both in two different ways. Morrowind is just so ugly, so bad looking
it does look
that
terrible.
it's almost like you can't play
Everyone
it.
died.
Yeah, and everyone died. It was just like you
Uh,
can't play sometimes because everyone looks like chimp face and they're all scary. Where
that's
Oblivion
not
is like they just look goofy. It doesn't
Yeah,
look
Oblivion's
bad.
like characters look so like potato face.
Yeah,
But the
It's
environments,
just entertaining.
the environments look amazing in Oblivion.
Yeah, definitely for its
Uh,
time.
And I think even
We
I
were 4
actually
years old when it came out.
I actually watched like a commentary video that came with
Six.
my Oblivion disc or whatever that was talking about how they would go around and take different pictures of like different like ruins and stuff to try and get
Yeah.
like accurate textures for like their world or whatever. But
I would say that almost every Elder Scrolls runs behind this though. It is pretty repetitive to go in the ruins because a lot of them just look the same. The Iliad ruins or whatever. that just
yeah,
look
the
same.
Aelid ruins and definitely the Dwemer ruins in Skyrim too.
Yeah,
I
I hate the Dwemer ruins.
It's
I can
kinda
tolerate
funny.
Oblivion. I hate the.
It's kind of funny
Skyrim.
because I always thought it was super interesting to go through the ruins, the Aelid ruins and the Dwemer ruins in the games.
At first.
But they were so boring because it's just like the same every single
And you're
time.
hit. I hate the Dwemer. Like at least in Oblivion, you're kind of killing characters. Where when you're killing like the Dwemer machines, I just don't like killing them because there's metal parts flying. And it's not
Yeah,
satisfactory.
the machines are not nearly as satisfying to fight, and actually the Dwarven Centurions scared the shit out of me the first time I saw it
Yeah.
because it was super huge and it was like coming at me. But then it's just like also Skyrim's combat feels gross to me.
Really?
Yeah, it's so it just feels so fake. Like I feel like I'll
Yeah.
hit someone and nothing happens.
Yeah, it just goes.
Yeah, it's just like and they swing it back and forth until they fall over and they're dead.
Yeah, I would say
And-
Oblivion, when you hit a hit, it feels like you're putting weight into their hit.
Yeah, and especially with the way that they die too, because you'll like hit someone
Yeah.
and then they'll just go like
Yeah.
fly back when they're
It's more
dead.
hilarious, but like some, especially when you get some perks where it'll just fling the body.
Oh,
and
dude!
just-
Like I had when I first got my Oblivion game, I got it with an Xbox. My dad had bought from someone, and it
Oh.
came with all the game saves the guy had because he never got rid of his.
Oh.
And one of his Oblivion saves had a steel short sword that was had an electric enchantment on it, and it was called AAA, like AAA battery.
Oh.
So, but when you would kill someone with it, they would die, and then they would just go shoot up and directly vertical, and then flip around and then fall down. It was so funny.
And I love the acrobatics. You can literally just spend hours
Oh my
jumping.
God,
and
yeah.
You're jumping like you're like on the moon. You're just
This is
jumping
something-
up and over.
This is something you don't see in games a lot anymore. Is skills that actually level up like with use. I love games that are like the more you do something, the better you get at it. That has always been so satisfying to me. But nowadays, with a lot of especially fantasy-oriented games, which is what I like the most, it's always just like, oh, you level up, you get a point that you can put in whatever stat you want. And while I don't necessarily hate that, I think it's more boring to be like, oh God, I spent like 100 hours running, but now I can run at like the speed of the Flash or whatever, and you guys all suck, you can never catch me kind of thing.
Yeah.
It feels so satisfying to work super long for something like that and then be better at it and then just show it off to everyone else like, oh my God, I'm like the best in the game at this. You can
Yeah.
Valheim has that mechanic where the more you do something, the more it levels up.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
the
it's
the difference is so like not noticeable.
It's too small to actually like matter.
Yeah, and I think putting points into whatever skill you want only works well in like a game like Elden Ring, where it really matters um, like how much damage you do, how much endurance you have, because all of that is like micromanaged
Yeah.
like during a fight.
Yeah.
It's different for Elden Ring. I agree for sure. Souls games are a lot better with their stat allocation than I think most games are that have stuff like that. But there's another game that I play called Kenshi, which is like an older. It's been in development for a
Oh
while.
yeah, Kenshi.
But they're actually making like a second one right now, and it looks like way
I
better.
remember old Kenshi. Yeah, it was pretty good.
But Kenshi is so interesting
record.
because your character will start out with like 1 in every stat. Your character starts off with like 1 in every stat, and they're like the worst person
Someday.
in the world.
Oh really?
But like you'll spend like a super long time getting better at stuff, and then like once you have like a max like 100 in a stat, you are so much better at that, and you can literally make your character like a god with like maximum stats and stuff. Like I think if you have like a 1 in athletics, you only run it like
God laugh.
you only run at like 16 miles per hour, which is actually fast for a normal person. But if you get like 100 in athletics, you run at like 26 miles per hour. So there's like a huge difference, and that stuff actually does matter because. And Kenshi's brutal too, dude. If you get like attacked by one thing, you could die so fast, and your game will be over.
Oh yeah.
Because your character has like different like limbs or whatever that takes damage each individually and stuff, and if any of those go below your KO point, which gets higher with your toughness level, you'll get knocked out. But the thing is, if you don't have more than one character, you have no one to heal your character who's knocked out, so they'll never get up and they'll just eventually die. So it's really hard to start with like one character. But I don't know. Kenshi is like another game that has the skills that level up with use, and it just feels really satisfying to go from being absolutely terrible at martial arts to kicking people's arms off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's 116, and you know what they say after 116, so we should wrap
We're
it
at
up.
117.
So the favorite video game series of everyone here was Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's just for Holden.
No, we all love that.
Thanks for being on, Jacob and Donovan. Donovan, shout out to you for hosting. That's really cool of you.
I mean, yeah.
The first time we've done it not in our house, I guess.
No, in the car.
Oh yeah, we did it in a car once because we had an emergency. So,
Yeah, an emergency leaking.
but yeah, thanks for being on, guys. It was a nice podcast.
Yeah, Jacob's on his phone like a jerk.
Yeah.
And,
I was looking at the time.
So
You can
yeah.
literally see the time right there.
Yeah, you
I
jerk.
can't because the chair's in the way.
Okay.
Oh, so it's something 31, huh, Bobby?
Yeah, it's something 31.
Okay.
All right, thank you guys for watching or listening.
And watching.
All right, Jacob, final words.
I love women.